Hi, first graders. Today we're going to continue learning about nonfiction text features. Remember, nonfiction text features are different parts of a nonfiction text that help us learn more as we read. We've already learned about a few nonfiction text features. We've learned about the table of contents. Remember, the table of contents is in the beginning of the book and gives the names and location of each chapter or section of the book and helps the reader find information quickly. We've also learned about headings. A heading tells the reader what they will learn about on each page or section. We also learned about bold print or bold words, which are keywords that helps us recognize important keywords in the text. You can find all those bold words in the glossary. The glossary gives definition of the important words in the text and is usually found in the back or the end of the book. Today we'll learn about two more text features: photographs and captions. A photograph is a real image that shows the reader what something really looks like. Take a look at this photograph of the starfish. I know this is a photograph because I can tell that someone took this picture with a camera. It's not drawn or painted or something like that. It's a real picture taken with a camera of a real starfish. You'll find lots of photographs in nonfiction books. A caption gives the reader information about a photograph or an illustration. For example, take a look at this photograph of a butterfly. Underneath the photograph is the caption. Here's the caption for this photograph. It says, "This is a monarch butterfly feeding on nectar from flowers." That caption tells me what is happening in the photograph so that I can learn more about the topic. I now can know that monarch butterflies feed on nectar from flowers. I couldn't really get that just by looking at the photograph, so the caption provides extra support and extra information for me to learn even more than I already did. Let's take a look at some photographs and captions in other nonfiction books. For example, here on this page, I see a photograph of a grassy field, some trees, and a really dark and gray sky. I can tell it's a photograph because it's a real picture that looks like it was taken with a camera. It's not an illustration, it's not drawn. Here's the caption in this little box here. The caption says, "Dark clouds may mean that cooler weather is coming." Oh, so now I know the point of this photograph is to show me that dark clouds can tell us something about the weather. And the caption tells me that dark clouds can mean that cooler weather is coming. So I can look at that photograph and notice what I see, but the caption really helps me understand the purpose of that photograph. Here's another page with a lot of different photographs. I see a photograph of a dog, a photograph of a fire engine, and a photograph of a bird. Each of these photographs has their own caption to explain why the photograph is there and what's happening in that photograph. For example, here on this page where we're reading about sounds are everywhere, I can see this caption says, "Dogs can make sounds with high and low pitches." Oh, so the dog photograph is there to tell me that dogs can make sounds with high and low pitches. This caption says, "Birds can make many sounds." So the photograph of the bird is to help me understand that birds are another kind of creature that can make lots of different sounds. Finally, here's the caption for the fire truck photograph. It says, "Fire engines can make loud sounds." So here I can learn from this fire engine photograph that fire engine sounds can be very loud. All these photographs and all these captions help me understand that sounds are everywhere, just like the heading tells me. Finally, let's look at this photograph. I see lots of different photographs, again, of lots of different creatures. I see a scorpion, I see some type of lizard, and I see some zebras. I'm wondering what the zebra photograph is here on this page for. This heading says types of ecosystems, so I wonder what this photograph is meant to teach me. I'm going to read this caption to learn more from this page. It says, "Zebras live in grasslands. A grassland is also a terrestrial ecosystem." Well, if I just looked at the photograph of these zebras, I might not fully understand the purpose of that photograph. But by reading the caption, it explains why the photograph is there, and teaches me something new. That's what photographs and captions are for in nonfiction books. You will find so many cool, interesting photographs in all the nonfiction books that you read, and the captions can really help you better understand why the photograph is there and what it's trying to teach you. Today's assignment is going to be a little bit different than some other assignments we've had. We're going to complete some lesson activities on the website called Nearpod. Let's take a look at what your lesson will look like. You'll click on the link to the Nearpod lesson in Google Classroom. It will take you to these slides. This is what the first slide will look like. Let's go through some of the other slides so you understand what to do. The first activity you're going to complete is a matching activity. It says, match to the words with definition, picture, or example that they're related to. So, here on the yellow and white squares are different nonfiction text features that we've learned about. The other pictures or squares have examples of each one. I need to figure out which ones match. So for example, if I see that this square says photograph, I have to find the matching square and drag it over. Well, this isn't just a photograph. I see this arrow is pointing to these words here. This arrow is pointing to these words here. Let's see, this doesn't look like a photograph. Oh, here's a photograph of a cheetah. I can drag that over to the photograph and match it together. Once I've matched it, I can move on. Now we're going to move on to identifying how each type of text feature helps the reader. Here in the yellow boxes are 3 different text features. Your directions are to match the text feature with the way it helps readers to better understand the text. The yellow boxes are the text features. The purple boxes are how the text features help the reader. So for example, in this first purple box, it says, tells readers what the section they are reading will be about. Is that the glossary, the table of contents, or the heading? Drag the purple box on top of the yellow box that it matches. Finally, here's your next activity. It says label 3 text features, heading, photograph, and caption, by writing the name of it across the top. You can do this in a couple different ways. You can either make a text box and type right into the box like this, and then drag that box over where it belongs. You can use the writing tool and write the words. Or you can use this writing tool here, which is a little bit different, but similar. And I can write right onto my screen using my mouse or my finger. Then you'll have some questions to answer as well. If you have any questions about this, just ask your teacher. And if you have any trouble, you can always read a nonfiction book from home and look for some nonfiction text features too. This can be really fun and have a great time first grade.